math has been driving you crazy, or if you're finally admitting you're lazy and your test grades have been dropping, it's time to get your arrows popping.
Hello everybody, how's everybody doing today? This is Mr. Witt with Fort Bend Tutoring. We have Treasure Ghost in the house. How's it going, Treasure Ghost? And today's tutorial is going to be about the average rate of change. That's right, the average rate of change, determining the average rate of change, computing the average rate of change. That is what we'll be discussing today in today's tutorial. Of course, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to Fort Bend Tutoring FBT, where personalized tutoring is the solution. Go ahead and subscribe to Fort Bend Tutoring's YouTube channel. And while you're at it, click on that bell icon and you will be notified when we are uploading fresh and live content for free. So check that out. Go ahead and subscribe to FBT. And ladies and gentlemen, let us go ahead and get started here with the following information. We have the average rate of change. We have the average rate of change. That's what we got going on right here. And you know what? I think I want to zoom in just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. There we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and zoom in just a bit. And let's see what we got going on here. Oh, yeah, that's right, Treasure Ghost. TG, you're the only one in the house right now. Oh, there we go. Beach Works is in the house here. We got Arian in the house. All right. Good and welcome to the stream, guys. Good to see you guys. All right. And just so everybody knows I'm not talking to myself here, we have the chat up there. There we go with the chat. There we go. We got my people in the house, and we're going to keep this thing rolling here. Here we go. All right, Arian. Let's get going here. So with the average rate of change, guys, what you're actually finding is the slope of the secant line. That's right. A secant line is when you have a line going through your graph and it hits it twice. That's right. When it hits the graph of your function of your relation twice, we are dealing with a secant line, and this is the formula that we'll be using in order to find out what that average rate of change is. Amen, amen. All right, so let's get everything, make sure everything is in view here. Make sure that everything is in view. Here we have it, and Lewis is in the house. How's it going, Lewis? Good day to you, sir. And let me go ahead and give you guys a brief offering. All right, what's going on, drummer boy? My grades save your life in full effect. That's right. I'm here to help. I'm glad I was able to help. And so here we have just 6 of the problems that we'll be looking at today. We'll have a total of 10. Shanna's in the house. All right. Good stuff. I understand. Well, good luck to you on your test, test that you're taking there, Shanna. Take care. Thank you for catching me live. I appreciate that. And yeah. So this is what you're looking at, guys. You're looking at 6 of the problems, 6 out of 10 of the problems that we'll be covering in today's tutorial. I always like to show you guys what you are in store for. That's right. So let's continue with our first problem. This is what we're going to do here. We're going to find the average rate of change when we're given a function of f of x equals 3x plus 5, and they want us to find the average rate of change from when x equals to -4 to x equals 5. So once again, finding this average rate of change here, you will be using the function, the formula here, f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. And when they're asking you, or when they're referring to these a and b values, guys, the a value is going to be the first value that they give you for x, and then the b value is the second value that they give you for x. So that means that my a value is currently -4, whereas my b value is going to be 5. And what we should do here is go ahead and calculate what our f of b value is and then our f of a value. So that's exactly what I'll be doing. So my f of b value, which I currently don't know, is going to be the result of me plugging in 5 into the given function. So I'll be rewriting this as 3 times 5 plus 5. And what do we have when we do that? Well, we know that 3 times 5 is going to be 15, right? And then 15 plus 5 is 20. All right, so we have 20 as a value for f of b. Then finding out what the value of f of a is, we'll be plugging in -4 in for our x value into the function. So evaluating this, we'll have 3 times negative 4, adding 5 to that result. So you're looking at 3 times negative 4 being negative 12, and then negative 12 plus 5 gives you negative 7. All right. So now when we plug in these values into our average rate of change formula here, you'll be simplifying this by plugging in the values first. You'll see that 20 minus negative 7 divided by 5 minus negative 4, okay? And then you'll end up with 27 divided by 9. So you're absolutely right, TG. You're absolutely right, Treasure Ghost. We have 3 as the average rate of change. That from the x value of negative 4 to the x value of 5, we had a slope of 3 between those 2 points, and that's what you're finding. And we, of course, will be red boxing this. Amen, amen. And that's finding the average rate of change. Of course, in this case, we were dealing with a linear function. We were just dealing with a line. Okay, so of all the things we could be finding the secant, the slope of the secant line, we're finding it on something fairly simple. Okay, a linear function. But do not fret. I have other examples that will challenge you. So let's take a look at problem number 2. Here we have problem number 2, and in problem number 2, guys, we're looking at f of x equaling to the opposite of x squared minus 4x minus 1, or if it's written in vertex form, because this is a quadratic equation, aka the graph of it will be a parabola, a vertical parabola, you could write it as the opposite of the quantity of x plus 2 squared plus 3. And they want us to find out the average rate of change from negative 3 to 0. So notice that in the first problem, they literally wrote out x equals to negative 4 to x equals 5. However, they can show it to you in interval notation as well from in this form. And so they mean that, hey, they want you to go from negative 3 to 0. And in this case, you would label this as your a value, 3 being A and 0 being B. And that's the way you would go about labeling the values that are given to you in problems such as this. Not only that, I want to literally show you that on your graph here, that you can see that we have our graph drawn and we have a line going through this graph. So the graph of our parabola is shown here, and that's going to be in red. However, the secant line that we're finding the slope of is shown in black. So I'm showing you how we can go about visually looking at the secant line going through our curve and looking at the fact that this is the line that we'll be finding the slope of. Okay, so if you can graph it, that means that you can use your rise over run to calculate the slope of the secant line that way, aka the average rate of change, or you could just have a visual representation of what you're about to calculate. So once again, we'll be utilizing, let me get my camera straight here. All right, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and adjust this. There we go. So we will be using that formula where we're saying that the slope of the secant line is equivalent to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. We already have identified our b value as 0. We've already identified our a value as negative 3, and we'll be plugging in these values to find out what the result is. So let's start with our f of b value, which in this case will be f of 0. And if we were to substitute in 0 in our original function, then the 0 is going to wipe out the first 2 terms, right? So this is just going to be equal to negative 1. It'll just be equal to negative 1. However, when we replace our x value with negative 3, let's see what happens here. We'll have the opposite of negative 3 squared, which gives you negative 9. Then negative 4 times negative 3 gives you positive 12. And this will be minus 1. Simplifying this, negative 9 plus 12. What's going on, Jorge? What's going on, George? How you doing, sir? Good for you to join us today, George. Thank you. We have negative 9 plus 3 gives you 3, and then 3 minus 1 gives you 2. So here is our values for our f of b and our f of a. Plugging this into the average rate of change formula, we'll say that our m value is going to be equivalent to negative 1 minus 2 divided by 0 minus negative 3. So this gives you negative 3 divided by positive 3. So our result here is going to be negative 1. We have a slope of negative 1. In other words, our average rate of change is negative 1. All right. So George says, can I do a video on compound functions? Compound functions? Compound functions. Are you referring to composition of functions, George? Because if you're referring to composition of functions, I already have a video for that. All right. So compound functions, or are you talking about piecewise defined functions? Your words are not hitting a bell for me right now. What's going on, Tony? My son had to go to his flying lesson, but he sends his love to you, Mr. Witt. Hey, my pleasure. Thanks so much, Tony. Tell Noah I said what it do. And have a good flying lesson. Thanks for being a good pappy. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that, Tony. So, George, I think you can benefit from checking out either the composition of functions formula, or not formula, but composition of functions video, or the one that goes over, what's it called? What was I saying earlier? Yeah, George. Yeah, that's composition of functions, man. I already got that video up there. Yeah, it's called composition of functions, and you can look under the functions playlist to find it quickly, or you can just do a search on the Fort Ben Tutoring YouTube channel. Okay, so to find problems like that, you're looking at the composition of functions, and that video already exists. So check it out. All right. So thanks for your inquiry, sir. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at problem number 3. Answering questions on the fly is Mr. Witt today. And so here, guys, we have y equals 2x squared plus x plus 2. We have another quadratic equation, another quadratic function. It's a vertical parabola. They want us to find the average rate of change from 0 to 1/2. Therefore, if you're labeling this, then you can say that your a value is 0, your b value is 1/2. That being the case, we know that we'll be using the average rate of change formula, but we also know that we'll need to find the value of f of b. So finding f of b, let's do that. We know we'll be replacing all the x's with 1/2. So rewriting this as 2 times 1/2 squared plus 1/2 plus 2. Let's find out what this result will be here. We'll have 2 times 1/4. That's multiplying 1/2 times 1/2 to give us 1/4. What's going on, Josh? Mr. Witt says, Mr. Witt, do you have any videos that would help me with the ASVAB test? Glad you asked, Josh. There is a playlist called ASVAB Prep. All right. So all you got to do is go to playlist, look for the one that says ASVAB Prep, and there you go. There is an entire playlist geared towards preparing you for the ASVAB test. So good luck to you, Josh, and thank you for your future service, sir. Drummer Boy says, I'd like to see a video on the technology you use to make the video, as in the tablet and software. I'd like to use something like that in class. Interesting. Well, I'm using an Apple iPad. Okay, so you can start with that. And the iPad I'm using is the iPad Air 2. And in addition to that, I'm using Penultimate. That's the app that I'm using right here. However, this is a much older version of Penultimate. So the version of Penultimate that you have access to currently does not look like this. All right. So there you go. And in addition to that, just regular, editing software, stuff like that, like iMovie and Wirecast Play. That's what I'm using to stream right now. So there you go. You got it all. Thanks, Lewis. And also, can you post the playlist for Josh for the ASVAB? So look under playlist. There's a playlist that's called ASVAB Prep. And that is what Josh needs to help him out for the ASVAB test. All right. Good job, Lewis. Always on point. Let's continue with problem number 3, guys. All right. So here we've already squared 1/2 to get 1/4. And so now I'm bringing down the remainder of the expression here, that 1/2 and the 2. All right, no problem, drummer boy. And now multiplying 2 times 1/4, we can simplify this. So we'll say 2 goes into itself once. We'll have 2 going into 4 twice. This simplifies to give you 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 2. And the last time I checked, guys, a half and a half gives you 1, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3 is going to be the value that we'll keep up with for our f of b. Okay, so it was a little different, a little stressful on there because we had a couple of fractions in the problem, but we persevered. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead once again, Lewis, if you can give Josh the link for that, I appreciate that. Good stuff. All right. So the link is for the playlist ASVAB Prep, if I can say it right. There we go. Also, Josh, you can just look under playlists under the YouTube channel for Ben Tutoring and search for it yourself. But I believe Lewis should be helping you out shortly. All right, continuing on, guys. We got f of a to find. We need to find out that value of f of a. In this case, we'll be plugging in 0 into the function. So plugging that in, we'll have 2 times 0 squared plus 0 plus 2. So 2 times 0, well, 0 squared is just 0, guys. And then 0 times 2 is 0. And 0 plus 0 is 0. Then 0 plus 2, if I can say it. Then 0 plus 2 is what I meant to say. It's 2. There you go. There you go. And now we have our values that we can use to plug it in to the equation. That's right, into the formula. So looking at that slope of the secant line here, we'll be plugging in our values. So f of b, remember that value is 3, minus f of a, which is 2, divided by, we have the value 1/2 minus 0. So this gives you 1 divided by 1/2. And if you were to change this into a division problem here, then you could rewrite it as 1 divided by 1/2. Well, what do you do when you're dividing two fractions, all right? Or dividing with fractions? You multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction. So we'll end up rewriting this as 1 times 2. So the answer is 2 for our slope. And we're going to red box it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there it is. There it is. We have it. Good stuff. Lewis, is that the playlist? Is that the playlist, sir? Because it doesn't look like a playlist link, but hopefully it is. Josh, that should be the playlist for the ASVAB prep. All right. But normally the playlist links say playlist in there. So hopefully that's it. All right. There you have it. There you have it. That was problem number 3. Yeah, we're moving on. We are moving on. How's the math, guys? Is anybody checking me? All right, there you go. 17 videos in that playlist. 17 videos. There should be more than 17 videos for the ASVAB playlist. Yeah, should be much more than that. Okay. Just saying. Just saying it should be more. All right. You can see now you got me doing extra work over here. Let me check this out. Let me check it out and see. All right, so I'm pulling it up, looking at the playlist, looking for the one that says ASVAB playlist. ASVAB playlist has 78 videos. All right, not 17. So then pulling up the thing for that. Hey, no problem, Josh. No problem, Josh. You spending time with me today, and I value that time. All right, so it's all good. All right, Josh, let's see here. Boom, there you go. All right, so we just hooked up Josh, guys, with the ASVAB prep playlist with 78 videos. There you go. All right, Treasure Ghost TG says that he got the answer, which is 1/5. Okay, so that's for problem number 4, TG. Let me go ahead and see if I can calculate that as well. All right, good deal. So Josh says he sees it now, so he has his ASVAB prep playlist. I've just sent him the link. Treasure Ghost has the answer to problem number 4 already because he's a boss. So he got the answer as 1/5. Pacific Shroud said, what's going on? It's Mr. Witt. What's going on, Pacific Shroud? How you doing? That's right. Mr. Witt's in the house saying, what's up to you, Pacific Shroud? And now I'm going to be doing problem number 4 here. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this problem right here. All right, guys, so we're going to start out by labeling our values, in other words, for x. The first value is going to be a. Your second value is going to be b. You need to have the value of f of b first. So that means that in this case, you'll need n of b because our function's name is n as in Nancy. So we'll say n of b. All right. So this n of b is actually going to be n of 10. So plugging this in, you'll end up with the square root of 10 minus 1, which gives you the square root of 9, which is 3. So the first value that we have is 3. Pacific Shroud says that Mr. Witt is the reason I passed high school and was able to go to college straight after grade 10. Oh, my goodness, man. That is awesome, Pacific Shroud. Congratulations on your academic success. All right, and I hope you're kicking butt in college, man. That is wonderful. Glad I could be a part of that. That's fantastic. Are you trying to make me feel good right now, Pacific Shroud? Because it's working, okay? You got me feeling good over here. Helping people out is what I like to do, okay? So there it is. So Pacific Shroud is, there it is. All right, so TG says, Mr. Witt, Lord and Savior. No, sir, nowhere close, man. Nowhere close. I am literally not walking on water here, but I'm trying to get better every day. How about that? We have our value for n of b, which is 3. We're going to find out our value of n of a. And so with this value, we'll be plugging in the following result here. We will be plugging in 5. That's right. And when we plug in 5 into the original function here, we'll have the square root of 5 minus 1, which gives us the square root of 4. So this value is 2, ladies and gentlemen. All right. That being the case, we can go ahead and utilize the formula for finding the slope of the secant line. And that formula in this case would be n of b minus n of a divided by b minus a. Notice how I adjusted the formula to reflect the fact that the name of our function is n. There it is. So that being the case, we plug in our values that we already calculated, and we'll have 3 minus 2 divided by 10 minus 5, and you'll end up with 1/5, just as Treasure Ghost already cited. Good job, Treasure Ghost. Good job. Our result here in a red box is 1/5. Pacific Shroud said, hi, it's the truth. The quadratic formulas and everything about you making things worth remembering was amazing to listen to you being happy about what you do. Yes, absolutely. I am excited, Pacific Shroud, to help people in need, man. When you have a gift, a God-given gift, you feel best when you're utilizing that gift. Why? Because it defines a part of your purpose, Pacific Shroud. So when you know that you are exceptional in a certain area, and especially in an area that helps others, when you do that something to help other people, then you are validating your purpose. That makes you feel good. Absolutely. So I know that I have a knack for teaching. So when I'm teaching and helping people, I feel good about it. There you go, because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So there you have it, guys. We have problem number 4 in the house. And that is done for finding the average rate of change. And we are moving on. Yes, we are. And speaking of moving on, we're going to remind you that you can always set up a paid online tutorial with me, Mr. Witt, in FBT, Fort Bend Tutoring, by checking out our website where you can set up an online tutorial, a paid online tutorial. Just to let you guys know, we do our YouTube streams and YouTube live streams and YouTube uploads for free. Absolutely. However, we still have lights to keep on. So therefore, when we are helping you one-on-one, we do ask for you to pay for that service. Amen. Amen. In addition, if you want to help out Fort Bend Tutoring, you can feel free to do a super chat where you're donating money at the bottom of your super chat option right there. We see that $ there. You could do that, or you can use the PayPal link in the description box to make a online donation to Fort Bend Tutoring. We greatly appreciate you spending time with us, as well as you watching the videos, patronizing our website, as well as your donations. Amen. Amen. Let's continue with today's lesson, guys. All right, so here we have problem number 5. Problem number 5, we have y equals negative 1 over x minus 2, and we're moving from the x values of negative 3 all the way to negative 2. That's right, a short little run. And since we have a rational function here, this will be our first time that we're doing the average rate of change with a rational function. So let's see how it works out. Okay, let's see what happens here. All right, so the first thing we need to do is find out what our f of b value is. See, so you're going to label this as A. The negative 3 is A. The negative 2 is B. And Drummer Boy says, class time, wish I could stay. Understand. Take care. My pleasure, Drummer Boy. Take care. Have a good class. All right, so here we're going to be finding out what that f of b value is in this case. F of b would be f of negative 2. Plugging this value in, you'll have the opposite of 1 over negative 2 minus 2. So we end up with the opposite of 1 over negative 4, and then these signs will combine to get, I hate that 4. The 4 is ugly. Okay, we can't let that 4 slide. There we go. Better. So these negatives will combine. We'll multiply those values to get a positive 1/4 for our f of b value. So we're dealing with 1/4 right here. Treasure Ghost has the result, which is 1/20. Absolutely. Good job, TG. And now we'll be plugging in negative 3 in for our a value. So let's see what that looks like. Plugging in negative 3 here, you'll have the opposite of 1 over negative 3 minus 2. This ends up giving you the opposite of 1 over negative 5, which is a positive 1/5. Okay, when you combine those signs there. So we have an f of b value of 1/4. We have an f of a value of 1/5. Josh says, I've been watching and studying your videos for about 3 months now, and you make math exceptionally fun. Thank you for your service, sir. My pleasure, Josh. And good luck once again on that ASVAB test, man. All right. Knock it out the park the first time you take it. Make sure you're walking in there well prepared. So you'll be learning that those type of virtues in the military, where I'm pretty sure that everything you do in the military, you'll need to be prepared for. So make sure you're prepared before you take that exam. And thanks again for your future service. Pacific Shroud says, have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Mr. Witt, for helping me out. Seems that I won't be able to donate on YouTube straight off, but will donate over PayPal as soon as I get a chance. Hey, I appreciate that, Pacific Shroud. That is totally your choice, but it will be greatly appreciated, and all of the monies received go to directly affect our ability to continue bringing you more free math tutorials from Fort Bend Tutoring and myself. Peace. You know what I'm saying? All right, so here we got it goes. Here we have it, guys. We have our 1/4 value. We have our 1/5 value. And, of course, we have the formula that we'll be using to find the slope of the secant line, which, of course, in this case, f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Let's go ahead and plug in these values and simplify. Our f of b value, once again, is 1/4 minus our f of a value, which is 1/5. And this is going to be divided by our b value, which is negative 2, minus our a value, which is negative 3. From here, we have 1/4 minus 1/5. Once again, I wrote an ugly 4 that I want to fix. Thank you. Want to fix that ugliness. Oh, you see, it's not working out. It's not working out. I'm messing up here. There we go. And then we have the negative 2 plus 3. And from here, all right, we know that the denominator, what is up, BGS? Man, BGS, you are on fire with the consistent donations. Oh, my goodness, man. BGS, let me go ahead and show you some online love here. We got BGS with the super chat donation. Thanks again, BGS. You are consistent. Nothing else. And I really appreciate it. That is awesome. Keep teaching the babies as always. Yes, sir. You got it. Let's go ahead and give BGS it more. All right. Some more love over here. As always with the super chat, $5 donation. I appreciate that, BGS it more. You are amazing. All right. From here, guys, in the numerator, if we were to take this value, all right, let's do this. Let me give myself a little bit more room here. If we were to take this value, we know we now have the 1/4 minus 1/5. It's over 1 now because that's the result of combining that negative 2 plus 3. Treasure Ghost says, I'm a baby. Yeah, that's right. You somebody's baby, Treasure Ghost. You're somebody's baby. All right. If you're still blessed to still have your parents, I'm sure they're still looking at you as their baby. Good deal. Let's see about distributing this 20. Now, what I'm doing, guys, and I'm showing you that within the complex fraction that we have right now, that if you go about the business of distributing the least common denominator of all of the values to each and every element of the rational expression, you can eliminate the fractions within the fraction. And it'll help you simplify that. Okay, so in other words, me multiplying 1/4 times 20, that's just like dividing 20 by 4. That gives you a result of 5. Okay, then multiplying negative 1/5 times 20 is similar to dividing 20 by 5. So you'll end up with a negative 4. And then 1 times 20 is just 20, of course, right? So when you simplify this, just as Treasure Ghost has, then you'll see that 5 minus 4 is 1, and then the 20 in the denominator remains, so that you end up with a result of 1/20. That's just one way that you could go about simplifying that problem there to get our average rate of change for problem number 5, which is 1/20. Amen, amen. All right, so that's what we got. That's what we got. BGS says, I'm an old man, so yes, you are a baby. You got to have too much fun. So Treasure Ghost says, yes, that's right. I am 8 months and a half old. You guys are tickling me today. I really appreciate it. So clearly the chat is off the chain today. We're having fun with the average rate of change. This is Fort Ben Tutoring and Mr. Witt giving it to you live and direct with Treasure Ghost and BGS Idmore as my sidekicks. And they're just having a blast in the super chat. Good stuff. Here we have problem number 6, guys. We have a quadratic equation. We have f of x equals the opposite of x squared, the negative x squared here, plus 4x minus 1. We're moving from x equals 1 to x equals to 5, all right? And we're once again trying to find the average rate of change. Remember that your average rate of change formula for finding the slope of the secant line is given by f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Guys, it's just a good idea to always write down the formulas when you're using them for every single problem that you apply that formula to. It helps you memorize the formula. It helps you get more familiar with using the formula on a day-to-day basis. And it just triggers certain things in your brain to help you have a great recall during an exam or a quiz, that you'll know that you need to use this particular formula to solve this problem when you see it. All right. So I have my formula down, and we'll go ahead and find out our f of b values. All right, and our f of a value. Our b value is 5 in this case. The a value is 1. All right, so remember that the first value that they give you in ascending order is going to be your a value, whereas the last value is going to be the b value. So plugging this information in, we'll have to plug in 5. So you'll have the opposite of 5 squared plus 4 times 5 minus 1. This gives you negative 25 plus 20 minus 1. Simplifying this, guys, you'll end up with negative 5 minus 1 gives you negative 6. So my f of b value, all right, after plugging in 5 into the original function, we end up with negative 6. That's right. BGS Idmore says, yes, the formulas are the key. Recognizing patterns, you need the tools memorized. Absolutely. Absolutely, because it will never be promised, especially in a math class, that you will have access to those formulas, all right? So many teachers, depending on their teaching style, may give you access to the formulas during the test, but it will not be guaranteed. When you step foot in the door of a math class, it depends on the instructor, the department, and the school's policy whether or not they'll be giving you access to those formulas. You want to be well prepared, okay? And you want to be self-reliant. All right. And because of that, that means that if you do a practice such as writing down the formula every time you use it, it will help you memorize it faster. All right. So that is some helpful information from BGS Idmore and myself. Guys, we also have another donation. This time it is a $10 donation from Josh G. All right, so Josh G just hooked us up. He was a man of his word, and he hooked us up with a $10 donation. Thank you so much, Josh. You are amazing. Once again, sir, I want you to do your best on that ASVAB test. All right. So study. And if you have any questions, go ahead and chime in either on that specific video, or you can go ahead and hit us up by email, and I'll be happy to help you in your preparation for the ASVAB test. All right. There you go, man. Good job, Josh. Good job. So now we're going to be moving ahead, guys. We're going to be looking at f of a. We'll be plugging in 1 into the original function. So that means that we have negative 1 squared plus 4 times 1 minus 1. With this problem, we'll end up with a negative 1 plus 4 minus 1. And so after simplifying this, we have negative 1 plus 4, which is 3. 3 minus 1 gives you 2 as a result for the f of a value. All right. Now plugging these values in, let's see what happens. If we go back up here where we have our formula, we can plug it in as negative 6 minus 2 divided by 5 minus 1. Well, what happens here? We end up with negative 8 divided by 4, and so we end up with our average rate of change being equivalent to negative 2. And of course, we will be red boxing that. And there we go, guys. That's right, Treasure Ghost. You already got your negative 2. Good job, sir. Good job. Treasure Ghost already had negative 2 for the result of his problem number 6. F of x equals to negative x squared plus 4x minus 1 from x equals 1 to x equals 5. Plugging in those values and simplifying, he got a result of negative 2, and he is absolutely correct. Good job, TG. Good job, sir. Good job. Let's move on, guys. We have problem number 7. Problem number 7, and this is h of x. And h of x equals to 3 to the x power, and we're going to be moving from our x values 2 to 3. So we're looking at an exponential function right here, guys. We're looking at an exponential function, and we're going to be finding the average rate of change for this. If I were to rewrite my formula here for finding the slope of the secant line, and because the name of my function is h, I can rewrite that formula as h of b minus h of a is going to be divided by b minus a, and this will give me my average rate of change. This will give me the average rate of change here. Treasure Ghost says, I'm running how many times Mr. Witt can say good job in a row. It's not on purpose, Treasure Ghost. You know, I'm on the spot here because I'm doing this live, all right? So let me see if I can avoid saying good job now. Or better yet, how about I just go ahead and bust your bubble, Treasure Ghost, and just say it a lot of times right now. So good job, 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 good job. So there you go. How many times was that, Treasure Ghost? All right. Since you over here cutting up today. There you go. You can count how many times I said good job in a row. Good stuff. All right. See, that was a new one. See, I said good stuff that time. All right. So here, let's go ahead and find out what our h of b value is. We're going to be plugging in 3 into the original function for our b value is 3. All right. So that's the b value there. I think I just messed up a b. Could not draw a b for a second. That's still not a good b. So this is b. This is a. There we go. All right. So Treasure Ghost says, well, the answer is 18. Do not say good job now. All right. So you've had enough good jobs, Treasure Ghost. All right. Well, I will try to avoid that. Good stuff. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and plug in 3 into the original exponential function. This is going to be 3 cubed, guys, and 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. We have 27 here. Moving on, we're going to be finding out what h of a is. We'll be replacing the a value there with the number 2. So we have 3 squared. 3 squared, of course, is 9. So this is going to be my h of b value. We have our h of a value. And now we'll be plugging this into our slope formula for the secant line. So plugging this in, our h of b value is 27. Minus the h of a value, which is 9, divided by 3 minus 2. So 27 minus 9, as Treasure Ghost has already told us, is 18. I hate that 8. Let's fix it. There we go. Over 1. So our result is 18 for the average rate of change. For the average rate of change. Lewis says, good job, Treasure Ghost. It wasn't me that time, TG. All right. It was Lewis this time. That was problem number 7, guys. Great job. So now we're looking at problem number 8. We're looking at problem number 8. We have f of x equals x cubed minus 4. This is a cubic function. And Treasure Ghost is going ham over here. Because Josh and Lewis has told Treasure Ghost, good job. Y'all are killing me today. Y'all are killing me today, all right? So here, let's go ahead. We'll have our function f. We're trying to find the average rate of change. We're moving from -3 to 0. And we have, once again, the slope of the secant line to find. In other words, the average rate of change. So we'll be utilizing this formula, f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a, knowing that our a value is -3 and knowing that our b value is 0. That being the case, if I'm finding out what f of b is, aka I'm finding out what f of 0 is, I'll be plugging in 0 into the original function and simplifying this. 0 cubed is 0. And 0 minus 4 gives us -4. Lewis is telling TG, Treasure Ghost, we are counting on you. And we are, Treasure Ghost. That's right. We are counting on you to do a good job. All right. Now we'll be looking at f of a. For f of a, we'll be replacing all the x's in the original equation with -3. So let's see what happens with this one. If we replace the x value with -3, we'll have to cube it, then subtract 4. We'll end up with -27 minus 4. This simplifies to give us a result of -31, which we'll be plugging into our equation for the slope of a secant line. All right. So Treasure Ghost counting on me like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's right, because the last number is the answer. Is that right? So is the answer 9, Treasure Ghost? Is that what you're saying? We are going to plug in this value for the slope of the secant line and simplify it. So our f of b value is -4 minus our f of a value, which is -31. This is going to be divided by 0 minus -3. So we end up with -4 plus 31 divided by 3, which is going to give us 27 divided by 3. And as Treasure Ghost already hinted at, the result is 9. Fantastic job, Treasure Ghost. Good job. Yeah, that's right, Treasure Ghost. Good job. We have problem number 9. With problem number 9, we're going to use the table of values to find the average rate of change over the interval 2 to 6. Treasure Ghost says the word job should be banned. All right, fine. It will be for the remainder of this lesson. The word job is banned. No one in the super chat and myself, none of us can say job because Treasure Ghost has banned it for the rest of this live stream. All right, so here we go, guys. Here we go. Lewis says, good work. Lewis says, good work, TG. That's right, Treasure Ghost. Great effort. Alex says, Mr. Witt is a lefty. That's unique. I wonder who's smarter, lefties or righties. I think you already know the answer to that, Alex, which is why you're saying it out loud. Which is why you're saying it out loud. Treasure Ghost says, your words are offensive. Please delete yourself. Thank you. Treasure Ghost, hang in there. It's almost over. Here, so problem number 9, guys. In this case, we actually have a table instead of the traditional equation that they give us. They've given us the function in the form of a table. And And that does not mean that we can't still find out the average rate of change without the equation itself. So instead, we need to pay attention to the fact that our B value in this problem is 6, whereas your A value is 2. And of course, these are going to be respective to the X values that are given here on our table. And we can utilize those Y values, aka those f of X values, in order to simplify our slope of the secant line. All right, so let's go ahead and remind ourselves what that formula is again. We have the slope of the secant line being equivalent to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. All right, we've already identified that our b value is 6, our a value is 2. So in other words, if I wanted to clarify what f of b is, that means that I need to find out what f of 6 is. And so according to our table, when x is 6, our y value is going to be 38. So we end up with a result of 38 for f of b. Then to find out what our f of a value is, that means that we'll be plugging in 2 for x and finding out what the y value is. So according to our table, when x is 2, the result is 25. Okay, so this is what I have for my f of b and f of a. Josh says let's plug in the value of f of job. Good job, Josh. Good job. Josh, that was good. That was good. I think even Treasure Ghost has to admit that that was a good one. All right. So, but you know what, though, Josh, which is funny, that O in job looks like you're trying to take the composite of J and B. So when you have F of J composite B in there you go. That's another one that we could do. Instead of saying job, we could say J composite B because it looks like job. And then maybe that can bypass Treasure Ghost's ban on job. All right. There you go. Keep it clever, guys. Keep it clever. Let's do what we can to irritate TG today. So now what we have for our slope, we'll be plugging in the value of f of b, which is going to be 38. Minus our f of a value, which is 25. That's going to be divided by 6 minus 2. So when we simplify this here, we'll have 38 minus 25. That gives you 13 divided by 4. So your result here is 13/4. How was that, Treasure Ghost? Is that correct? Go ahead and verify that solution for me, sir. All right, I would appreciate it. So number 9, guys, we have 13/4 after using the table. In order to find out our average rate of change. Obina's in the house. What's going on, Obina? How you doing, Obina? Treasure Ghost says I have the best command. All right, no compliments from me for the rest of the stream. What can you say now? We can say, Treasure Ghost, that we need you to confirm that 13/4 is a solution to problem number 9. That's what we can say. Obina is in the house. What's going on, Obina? Thank you for joining us. Good stuff. Let's move on, guys. We have problem number 10. Problem number 10 is in the house. We have another exponential function. This one is named C. So as far as our secant, as far as our slope of the secant line equation is concerned, in other words, in order to find the average rate of change, we can say that this is going to be C of B minus C of A divided by B minus A. There we go. All right. We are going to find out what C of B and C of A is first. We're going to identify the fact that our A value is 2, our B value is 5, and there we go. We're going to be plugging in C of B as C of 5. With C of 5, we have 2 to the 5th power minus 1. Well, 2 to the 5th power, guys, is 32. And 32 minus 1 gives you 31 as your result for C of B. Treasure Ghost still waiting on that confirmation for problem number 9, man. What's going on? Then we have C of A. We'll be plugging in 2 for our X value in C. We'll have 2 to the 2nd power minus 1. This gives you 4 minus 1, which is 3. So as far as our intermediate values here, all right, We have 31 for C of B. We have 3 for C of A. No, I was talking about the previous problem, Treasure Ghost. Number 9. Is number 9 13/4? Treasure Ghost says problem number 9 is Illuminati confirmed. Gotcha. Oops, I mean confirmed. Gotcha. All right. So be it. So 13/4, I imagine, is correct. There we go. Since TG is in his mood today. All right. Let's go ahead and plug these values in and simplify for problem number 10. Obina says that Treasure Ghost is right as far as problem number 10 is concerned for the average rate of change. Let's go ahead and confirm that then. So for our slope of the secant line, aka the average rate of change, we're going to have 31 minus 3 divided by 5 minus 2. This gives us 28/3, and Treasure Ghost is correct. Treasure Ghost is correct. Obina is asking, what do you mean? What I meant was that I was trying to get Treasure Ghost to confirm the result for the previous problem, which was 13/4. That's what I got. All right, guys, this is the solution for problem number 10. It's exactly what Treasure Ghost confirmed already, that the result will be 28/3. It's the exact same value that Obina confirmed that Treasure Ghost was right with his 28/3. I have my answer in a red box, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what's going on. And just to let you know that I want you to subscribe to Fort Bend Tutoring. That's right. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and have some growth on Fort Bend Tutoring's YouTube channel. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. And just to give a shout out to my people today, ladies and gentlemen, we had Obina in the house. Treasure Ghost was all up in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Josh was in the house with a kind donation of $10. We had BGS Idmore with a kind donation of $5 a day. We appreciate that. We also had Alex Stevens in the house. Lewis is in the house. Absolutely. We also had Pacific Shroud in the house. Drummer Boyd is in the house. That's right. We had George Nathan in the house. Thank you, George, for stopping by today. Tony and Noah represented themselves today. Shannon Mark was in the house today. Arian was in the house today. Beach Works was in the house as well. And we appreciate you all joining in the live stream for the average rate of change. And as always, please come back again, because I'll be here. Peace. Take care, guys. Fort Bend Tutoring.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate you hanging out with Fort Bend Tutoring. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. Hit up our website, tutormemath.net, and set up a private tutorial with me and FBT. Oh yeah, baby.